Hello, and welcome back to Tip Tuesday from Sweet Beads. Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of Tip Tuesday. I'm your host, Shae Wilhite, and today we are going to talk about flat herringbone stitch. Now, last week we said we were going back to basics, and we did the ladder stitch. And so this week we're going to carry on with one of the things that you would use a ladder stitch for, and that's flat herringbone. And so I'm using the one that we did that was single, and I need an even number of beads in my ladder. Herringbone usually requires an even number of beads, and you can see I've got 5, so I'm going to add one more. Remember our ladder stitch, we're going through the old bead and then up through the new bead. Okay, so now to do herringbone, and I am always flipping my work so that I always work left to right. If you want to do it your way, that's fine, but I'm going to show you the way that I work. So going left to right, and I'm going down at the moment. I just said I was going down. I flipped my work, and you can see both my working thread and my tail thread are going up towards the ceiling. I'm just going to tuck my tail thread down so that I am working left to right and away from my tail, okay? Meaning my tail will always be on the bottom floor, and I'm working my way up the building, okay? So there we go. So to do herringbone stitch, you need to pick up 2 beads. Remember I said it's always an even number. You're going to go down the next, so we're exiting this bead, we're going to go down the next bead over to the right. Now if you were left-handed, you could totally reverse this and just flip which direction, and then we come up one more bead if it wanted to play right to the right, okay? And that's pretty much herringbone stitch. Pick up 2, pass down 1 bead to the right, and pass up 1 bead to the right. And this is also called end-to-belly. So if you see a stitch labeled end-to-belly, N-D-E-B-E-L-E, that they're also talking about the same stitch. But I prefer to call it herringbone because end-to-belly is really hard for me to write down, even though herringbone is longer. Last one, I went up from my last one. I go down 1 bead to my right. Now, I don't have any more beads to my right. But to be going up the next row, I really need to be coming out of this bead. There are 2 ways you can handle that. One is pretty simple. You're just going to pick up a bead and go up that bead, okay? It's just going to be an accent bead there on the side. Not my favorite method because I really don't like this little thread show. But you could use it to accent things, or it could be an accent. So if that's the way you prefer, it's a super easy method to step up to the next row, okay? Again, I flip my work so that I am always working left to right. It's just the easiest way for me. I'm right-handed and I can see what I'm doing. So again, I pick up 2 beads. I go down 1 bead to my right, just 1 bead, and I go up the next bead. And you can see these rows look a little wonky. I always say right angle weave is a very sharing stitch. They like to be close together. Herringbone stitch is a very passive aggressive stitch. One moment they want to be apart, the next moment they want to be together. So each row you'll see them kind of moving back and forth. But that's what creates that sort of herringbone look. Okay, 2 more. Down 1 bead to the right. Up 1 bead to the right. Okay. Last pass, down 1 bead. Again, we have no more beads to the right, so we can't go up. And I showed you that first turn, which was just us adding a seed bead and passing up the next row. This one I like to call the invisible turn. So what I'm going to do is go 1 bead back to the left, but just 1. And then 1 bead over to the right. So now I'm exiting the bead that I need to be exiting, okay? And then flip my work and go again. Okay, so pick up 2, down one, whee, come here, make sure everybody's sitting right, up one, pick up two, down one, up one, I've got myself tangled, excuse me. I was just trying to do this for the camera. If I was beading on my own, none of this would happen, of course. Pick up two. Okay, thread. My thread has just decided to be a pain in the butt today. Down one. And again, no more way to go up. So if I wanted to use my, let's call it the quick method, I would just pick up a bead and go up. Okay? Last time, and I'll show you that one turn again. We're going to pick up two, down one, up one, and yes, I chant this to myself. My students in class will tell me, I tell you, I come up with rhymes and chants all the time. So yes, down one, down one, up one is literally a chant for me in my head while I'm doing herringbone stitch. And up one. So sometimes, and let's see, I don't know if I can get close enough on the camera for you to see this, but do you see how they're apart? And that's what I'm saying. People are going to say, ooh, that looks wonky. But once I pull that stitch through, you can see now they're joined up again. And that's what I'm talking about when I say, ooh, you know, sometimes they're, I'm sorry, and I went the wrong direction on that. And now I'm confusing all of you. Hold on. I went down one and I go up one. So you see they're apart now. And then when I go up this one, I shouldn't have gone down. They're together again. Okay, so it's a split, it's a together, it's a split, it's a together. And last one. And again, I can't go down. I mean, I can go down, sorry. I can't be where I need to be without doing some kind of turn. And you can do the add a bead turn, or again, the invisible turn, which is again, I go one bead over to the left, just one. Come here, little guy. And then one bead over to the right. And that sets me up for my next row. Okay? So let's do that with our paper. Some people are visual one way, some people are visual another way. So we were coming out of this bead. I added two beads and I went down one, up one. Okay, so that's the thread path, and you would continue that all the way along the line till we had all of our beads done. Then again, so we came down here. To make the turn, I picked up a bead and went out so that I am exiting that bead and can complete the next row. Or if we needed to, we came down this way, and again I want to be out that bead, so I went one bead over to my left and up through the bead that I need to be exiting. Okay, and that is flat herringbone stitch. I will show you some examples of things I've done with flat herringbone stitch next week, when we also start to talk about tubular herringbone stitch. Okay, so until next week, have a great week. Hope everything is going well in your world, that you had a happy Labor Day. We'll see you next week, and happy beading. Remember, for all your beading needs, you can find us at sweetbeadslv.etsy.com, on Instagram and Twitter at sweetbeadslv, and on Facebook /sweetbeadslv.